Good afternoon once again, everybody. Good afternoon. This is the official start of the program, and I'm still Steve Gregorian, President and CEO of the Detroit Economic Club. Welcome to today's 18th annual meeting with our Detroit Red Wings. It's a big birthday year for the DEC, 90 years of thought leadership and networking, and that tradition continues today. Especially want to welcome our DEC members. If you're not a DEC member yet, give me 10 seconds to convince you. Your next job, prospect, client, maybe even best friend is right here in this room. We'd love to have you join. You can do so at econclub.org. In fact, if you want to do so today on your way out, we'll give you a free event ticket to be used through the month of June. Just check at our registration table on the way out. All right, let's talk about you guys. Almost 400 Detroit Red Wings fans strong. This continues to be the best darn hockey city in America. Let's go. And we're going to give the Wings the same strong home ice advantage down the stretch that you all gave the Lions at Ford Field. So get pumped for the stretch. All right, just a couple of notes. We get started. I want you to silence your cell phones so we don't disturb the program. I think I did on mine. If you've been with us before, you can always begin with a pledge and a prayer. So I invite you to stand up now. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance before the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. And kindly remain standing as our invocation today will be delivered by one of our very favorites, Father John McKenzie from Christ the King Catholic Church.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to be a favorite. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Oh, Heavenly Father, bless our hometown hockey team, the Detroit Red Wings, players, their coaches, and staff. Help them to strengthen their discipline on ice as well as off ice. Let competition make their valor stronger but never hostile. Always let them help one another. May they be found always with your peace, even against their most aggressive adversaries. When they know victory, allow them to be joyful. If they are denied, keep them from envy. May they continue to set an example that through athletics, great things can be accomplished. We especially ask this through the intercession of Saint Sebastian, Roman soldier and patron saint of athletes. In Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you, Father. He's got red on his tennis shoes. He got the memo. Good job. I saw those. Good. All right, I want to take a moment and thank a couple of organizations for making this day possible. It's never, ever lost on us that the privilege and honor to host the Red Wings each and every year. I'm pretty sure no other NHL club does something as cool as this. So I want to thank Chris Illich, Ryan Gustafson, the Illich Executives organization, the Red Wings players, coaches, and executives for this incredible opportunity. A round of applause for these guys, please. And a special thank you to Steve Yzerman and head coach Derek Lalonde for allowing us to disrupt your daily routine. We appreciate that, yes. And I also want to give a very special welcome to our broadcast talent for giving up their time to be with us today. We are so darn lucky to watch Red Wings games all season long with the dulcet tones of Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond. Give them a round of applause. On top of all of the excitement of the day, thanks to the Red Wings, each of you will receive a Red Wings yearbook as you're exiting at the end of the program. So thanks to the Wings for being so generous. All right, a couple quick things here. You know, we love having our high school and college students with us. Their morning, afternoon already began with a private reception with Steve Yzerman and Ryan Gustafson. I want to let you know who's with us today. We've got students from Schoolcraft College, compliments of Chris and the great team over there at AAM. Thank you. Northwestern High School, thanks to Josh and Yasmin from Citizens Bank. Carlson High School, thanks to Jeff and Paul from KeyBank. We've got the hockey team from U of D Jesuit, thanks to Kurt and the great law firm Warner Norcross, and the amazing, bright Armenian students from the Manugian School in Southfield, thanks to Ike Investment. So please give these sponsors and their students a nice round of applause. All right, a couple things on your table. We've got a super busy spring ahead, something for everybody, including all you Tiger fans. Just yesterday, we announced that our annual event with the Detroit Tigers will take place right here, this stage, this room, April 30th. That will be a hot ticket because that team is going to be hot this year. So be sure to get your ticket. Also on your table is our corporate sponsor and partner brochure. Make no mistake, we would not be here if it wasn't for the generosity of those sponsors and partners. So thank you a million times. If you're interested in becoming one, see me or somebody from my team after the program. We'd love to have you join our team. So finally, use your smartphone and take lots of pictures using #EconClub. And now, to welcome you on behalf of Ilitch Sports and Entertainment, please help me welcome Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Ryan Gustafson.
Thank you, Steve. You stole some of my lines, though, and you're pumping up the crowd about the Red Wings, but that was great, so appreciate that very much. It's great to be here with you all. Thanks for having us. On behalf of Ilitch Sports and Entertainment, Chris Ilitch, myself, and our entire team, we appreciate the opportunity to engage with local business leaders, community leaders, and talk some hockey. So it's awesome to be here with you. We appreciate all your support of the Red Wings, the Tigers, and everything we're doing. At Ilitch Sports and Entertainment, we continue to use sports as a platform to amaze, inspire, and unite this entire community. It's been amazing for me to move here a couple years ago and just see how passionate this community is about their sports teams, how passionate this community is about developing and growing the city of Detroit and the entire state of Michigan. And it's just an honor for us to have our platform and as an opportunity to do good in this community. I want you to know we're working hard every day to bring winning hockey and amazing moments for our fans every night at Little Caesars Arena and every day at Comerica Park we have a Tigers game. For those of you who've been to a Red Wings game recently, it's been an electric atmosphere. It's so fun to see just the city rally around the team. And just excited to continue the progress and get it into the rest of the regular season here. I mentioned our commitment to the community. It was great to meet with the local students earlier. You all asked some really insightful questions of Steve and myself, and look forward to seeing you all progress in your own careers as well. I also want to acknowledge members of our team that are here today. Obviously, Steve Yzerman, Coach Lalonde, Captain Dylan Larkin, Moritz Seider, Alex DeBrincat. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to be here with us, especially after a hard-fought win last night. I also want to recognize Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond. You guys are the best broadcast team in the NHL. Sunday night, I was at home watching our team in Chicago, and when the game-winning goal happened, I audibly screamed and jumped up, which I'd never really do that often, and it was all because of these guys' call and the play on the ice. It was such an exciting moment. Thank you guys. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So appreciate everyone being here. With that, I am going to turn it over to Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond for the fun part of the program. So thank you all for being here. Go Wings and go Tigers.
Thank you, Ryan. And my daughter was right beside me in the broadcast booth in Chicago, so that made it even more exciting. She's her fiance. It was a great moment. Thank you, Patrick Kane. Thank you, Red Wings. Thank you, guys. Kat, Dylan, Mo. We are honored to be here as we are each year to MC this wonderful, wonderful event.
You going to share that, Mike?
I am. See, we're like Penn and Teller, and you guys can decide which one is usually.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, first of all, we'd like to thank the Detroit Economic Club for hosting this luncheon again. Was it 18 years, did I hear? 18 years, and we've been here for a lot of those for sure. An amazing turnout all the time, and it's great to see the development that this city has gone through in the past bunch of years, and coming back from when I first came here in 1967, right after the bad times were here, and I was with the Montreal Canadiens at the time, but having moved here on a trade in 1971, been a lot of changes and a lot of good ones, and you guys are right in the middle of it, so thanks for all the work you do that. Also, the local people, men and women that digging in, having businesses, having the investment time, money, work that you do to help this city come back is much appreciated. It doesn't go unnoticed. So to all of you who have put your feet in the cement and have been a part of this thing, we thank you for that. And we're very happy as two transplants, both of us from Canada originally, to be here now and citizens of the United States and be a big part of the city of Detroit and this whole thing. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, when I first came here for the second of back-to-back cups for the 97-98 season, and it started off pretty well, and Sergei Fedorov wasn't part of it then until he arrived, I think, in January of that year, and Mickey said, "Boy, are you ever spoiled?" And I said, "Well, keep on spoiling me," and they have, for the most part, for 27 years, so it's been pretty good. And in just a few minutes, we'll hear from Red Wings Executive Vice President and General Manager Steve Yzerman, Head Coach Derek Lalonde, along with the Captain Dylan Larkin, Moritz Seider, and Alex DeBrincat as a part of our roundtable discussion, and following that, we'll open up to questions from those of you in attendance.
So for somebody who has worn the winged wheel, it was a long time ago, I retired in 1976, I know the pride that these players have, and with the jersey that they put on every day. It's not just a logo on a sweater, but a symbol of the truly original city. Being an original six is really special. A passionate fan base, and we have none better than that for sure, and an organization with nearly 100 years of storied history and tradition. It's pretty special for all of us to wear that Red Wing logo on the front of our chest and being part of all of that. This ride has been unbelievable. Started in 1927, and here we go again.
And we did see it in Chicago Sunday night, too, and how Red Wing fans travel so well, and whether it's on the road or a packed little Caesars Arena, and 7 consecutive sellouts and 20 of the last 22, and likely another one tomorrow night against the New York Islanders. The passion and enthusiasm of this fan base can be felt more than ever. And each night the puck is dropped, from the career milestones to the unbelievable saves that we've seen and thrilling game-winning goals. We even have one on a penalty shot in overtime. This team truly does get in front of truly the greatest fans in all of sports. Joining Mickey Redmond and me on stage, you know them well. I don't think they need an introduction. Steve Yzerman and Derek Lalonde.
First question from me to Steve would be, a year ago, I think what happened, although it wasn't a defining moment, it was a moment that you said we got to make some changes, was the Ottawa 2 games. Our team and the objective was to be more relevant for a longer period of time, and I'd say that has been succeeded at this point.
Well, what do we got? 4 more games before the deadline, so things can change in a hurry. So
no, you're right. We got a lot of work to do.
I've been known to change my mind.
I know. But seriously, this team has been more relevant. We play the game differently, and Newsy can talk a little bit about that in a minute. But certainly, when people ask me about that, and I say, you know what, there's a different feeling in and around this hockey club than there was a year ago.
Yeah, actually, going back to last year, why we kind of put the team's play going up to the deadline. We had a good West Coast trip. I think we might have swept that West Coast trip, Dylan.
Yep.
Anyway, now we're all of a sudden kind of creeping back into the playoffs, and it's like, geez, maybe we should postpone any decisions if we're, what we're going to make if we're going to compete for a playoff spot. And right before the deadline, we lost 2 in a row in Ottawa, and you have to make decisions. And we did that this year. again, we're a competitive team, much like we were last year. I think we've taken a step. We're a deeper team, and today we sit in a playoff spot. Things can change in the course of a week, but I expect us to be competitive right up till the last day of the season, and in a playoff spot, competing for a playoff spot right up till the end. It's very close in the division. We've had a nice little streak here recently, which has created a little separation, but again, that can change in a hurry. But there's definitely a different feeling. You see the enthusiasm in our building, but our teams play the depth we have. Last night was a good example, the balanced scoring. So we like to think we've taken a step, and hopefully that step continues to becoming a playoff team this year.
And Derek, you must feel that too. Obviously, you're in the room to feel that feeling, and yet I think Vegas odds makers are starting to favor you some games now. You may not like that, though, huh?
They're messing with me now. There's no doubt about it. I piggyback on Steve's. He brought up the depth. I think our success has come through our depth in all three positions. Very rare for a team to carry three goalies. Thank God we did. We've used all three goalies, and we're basically in a situation of riding that goalie start. I was our number 3. We have 7 NHL D-man, which is unique in this league. When I mean 7 NHL D, established D that have played significant games in this league. Most teams will have 4 or 5. You're breaking some young guys in, maybe some tweeners. We've needed all 7. And then you can see where our depth has come from. When we're rolling, we look like we did maybe Saturday against St. Louis last night, where if an average fan came in, they don't know what line's going because all 4 lines are going over, and we've got some pace to our game. So we've done it through depth this year. And no disrespect, we have stars, and we have 3 of them sitting right here. But there's the Nathan McKinnons of the world. There's a handful of those 1%ers out there, Connor McDavid, Matthews, where their team game can be okay. I lived it. Steve and I lived it, where our team game wasn't great, but Cooch would make a play, or Stamkos would find a goal for you. We don't have that guy that's going to carry it. It's been a team effort, and it's a huge credit to our guys. And that's why this year it feels sustainable. It feels like we might win every game now. We're not going to. We're going to hit the rocks. We're going to hit a slide here. We're going to have our ups and downs. But it's given me some optimism with that depth.
Steve, talk about to Derek's point about bringing in people. Was your objective to bring in not really young people, but some experienced guys that had some time under their belt and also had won, and guys that have played the game and been in situations that has made this team be deeper at this point in time?
Well, not necessarily bringing in veterans. I think we prior to this season, we've got plenty of veteran experience on the team. Our off season was looking at trying to improve our team with contracts that kind of made sense, keeping in mind what's coming within the organization, commitments that we're going to have to make to our current players, and what's coming. So we felt we wanted to bring in some players and leave some of our younger players in the American Hockey League in Grand Rapids, let them play. So the objective was to try and improve our team, give Dylan, Mo, and Alex, who we acquired through trade, improve our team a little bit and trying to get better. I think at some point, everybody wants to win, and rebuilding, it can be difficult. And part of rebuilding is surrounding your young players with better players to help them grow. And here we are sitting with 23 games left in the regular season. The last few seasons at the trade deadline, we've made trades and looking forward to the future. This year, we expect to be playing meaningful games, battling for a playoff spot right through the end of the regular season and hopefully beyond. So the idea really was to try and improve our team. I think we have good character within our locker room, and I think we've improved that with the guys that we brought in. So again, it's just trying to make the team a little better every year.
Patrick Kane, what's he meant to the? Well, we know what he's meant on the ice. We've seen it. What's he meant to the room?
A lot. As much as he's brought in on the ice, obviously the offense, the timely goals, slotting guys, even better. I'm talking about the depth. I probably should have anticipated what he could bring our room with all the success he's had. and the type of person I've heard he was, but it's been beyond what I expected. He has a way about himself. He's really added on to this leadership core, which we have. As he's gotten more and more comfortable, he's gotten more vocal, and he just has a confidence and a calmness about him. Doesn't speak often, but when he does, there's a presence to it. And I think a little confidence and swagger, which we've been building over the last year and a half here. He's brought a lot to the group, both on and off the ice.
So, Steve, when that whole thing went down, obviously it wasn't a difficult decision for you to think about bringing Kane in here. Was it a simple process? I mean, you've been looking at it for a while. Do you have any idea that he'd have the kind of effect that he has had when you pulled the trigger?
We really weren't sure, just for the fact that the procedure that he had, nobody's played with that before, so we really didn't know. We talked with, obviously with Patrick, we talked to the doctors that did the procedure. Our own doctors did their research and what they thought the likelihood was. We were able to talk to Patrick's trainer that he's been working out with, had been working out with in Toronto, and got his testing results. And ultimately, just prior to making it official, where Patrick was able to come in and sit with our performance department and go through a series of tests, and our guys were extremely pleasantly surprised with how well he tested, his range of motion, his strength, his explosiveness. So we thought it was really a minimal risk, and at the very worst, we felt we were getting a guy that can go on one of our 2 power play units and really make a difference there. And so the risk was really minimal on from our perspective. And he obviously looks really good. And as I've watched him his entire career, but you really see him on your own team, and his poise with the puck and his patience with it is remarkable.
You know, I watched him from afar, like all of us, when he was with Chicago. And now that we get to see him every night, I had no idea of the skill that this guy had, the hands. I knew the brain was there, but to watch him articulate with his hands and the passing, like the pass he made to Fabry last night, it's like, wow, this guy he reads it well, and pretty amazing to watch a guy of his stature right in front of you every night.
It really is. I'll go back a little bit, but going back to the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, playing against the U.S. once in the preliminary round, and we lost that. I was with Canada. We lost to the U.S. in the preliminary round, and he was really good in that game. And then we played him in the gold medal game again, and he was phenomenal. Again, he had the puck, the plays he was making, and that was the first time I knew who he was in the NHL, saw it firsthand, that he's very, very special. And I remember that game, it stood out to me, and we ultimately won the game in overtime, but every time he touched the puck, it looked like he was going to create a scoring chance.
Thanks for bringing him. We're having fun.
We are.
And he is Showtime, and it took some time to show for you to come up with a goaltender to mid-November in Sweden when Ville Husso had to retreat and come back home for the birth of his daughter, and then it was Alex Lyon's turn. Or did you know, maybe at the start of the year you didn't know who your number 1 goalie is. I don't know, but you've got 3, and Alex Lyon, and what's he meant, and what have you seen in him to be able to do what he's done?
Competitiveness, number 1. Saw that from day one. All 3 of our goalies had great camps. We were comfortable and confident with all 3 goalies going into the season. Probably why, on a managerial decision, they kept 3. And thank God we did. He was an absolute professional when he was our number 3, and that is not an easy situation. It's rare to have in this league. We were fortunate at the beginning of the year. We get a little more practice time, so you're kind of able to cater to 3 goalies, but I must have spent once a week, I would go talk to him just to try to communicate what we're thinking, where we're at, and he would stop me. And he's like, I'm fine, trust me. I'm just waiting on whatever you need of me. And it was amazing. It worked out where the situation in Toronto, he played well, and he's earned everything that he's gotten. And I think it just sparks our team. What I'm most impressed about him is his fight back, his bounce back. Through this streak of, I don't know how many games he's won, it's a lot. He's had a couple subpar performances where now you're questioning a little bit, and his next game is arguably his best game. Perfect example is our recent West Coast trip. He gets put in a bad situation. He had played 18 of 19 games for us, which wasn't ideal for us. Ville comes back. We play Ville. This is going to be a reset, a rest Not only was he not going to play against Edmonton, he was going to have 2 more days before he played in Vancouver. And Villy goes down the first period. We put him in a really bad situation. Then he comes out and plays the next game. Yet another subpar. So you're sitting into these 2 games. Maybe he's hit a wall. A little concerned with his performance. James Reimer goes against Calgary, pitches a shutout. And literally the toughest goalie decision we had all year was the next game in Seattle. But this is a good problem to have. We were excited to argue over who's starting. And we just felt there's something about Alex. He get a little mental reset. I think he'd be driven by James Reimer's performance. And sure enough, he goes in Seattle, and he was our best player. I think that speaks volumes of who he is, and he's going to continue fighting all year long.
They're giving us a wrap sign. So Steve and Derek, thank you for your time today and your insight. It's been a fun year so far. Hopefully it continues. Thank you, guys. Your general manager and your head coach.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Mickey.
So now we're going to bring up one more chair, and please welcome your captain, Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Moritz Seider.
Go ahead. Welcome, guys. Did you guys practice today? Or a little quiet day? Little workout? How y'all feeling about the way things are going?
Feeling pretty good.
To get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's got to be. I remember days when things weren't going so well. It's a chore to go to the rink, but when they are going well, you can't wait to get back there. Is that the same feeling today?
Yeah, absolutely. Through this season, we've had ups and downs, which I think is really good for our group, and things are going well right now, and we just have a great group of guys, and it really is fun to go to the rink. Today I woke up with that feeling that you were talking about, Mick, where I was excited to get back there and hang out and talk with the guys and just be around each other.
5 block shots for you last night. I know you're in some pain. Your play's been positive for sure. I hope the x-rays were negative, right? Everything good?
Everything good. Just put the compression socks on to get the swelling out a little bit today. And should be fine to get back at it tomorrow.
How fired up are you this year? And same time last year, you're on the verge of a playoffs, I know, and then into Ottawa right at this time. This year feels different, doesn't it?
I don't know. I just always have fun coming into the locker room, spending times with a lot of cool guys, friends, and there is something about this year for sure, but I think even last year we were in kind of the same boat. Everyone was on the same page, we're fighting, and obviously we added some key players this year, and it's cool to be hunted than being in a lower position in the standings for sure.
Alex, a lot of speculation before you signed here. Was that decision an easy one for you, or something you had to really chew on for a while?
No, it's pretty easy for me. I think obviously growing up here, being a Red Wings fan growing up, and to have a chance to play here was pretty much a no-brainer. And was really excited to join this group. And obviously we spent a lot of time together. And like these guys said, it's a great group in there, and you have fun going to the rink every day, and just spend time with those guys.
Now, Larks has gone through being from Waterford, and he's, 8-9 years now, playing in front of family and friends and tickets and all distractions. Has that been an issue for you, or is just sit back, let me do my thing, and enjoy life in my hometown?
Yeah, pretty much just let them figure that out, and let my family figure that out, and I just try to go to the rink and ready to play. I think obviously it's a little bit different playing with family and friends in the crowd, and having them come into every game, but I try to
You know, I
keep
haven't
that
had a
on my
chance. Congratulations on the babies, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
We
Thank
see
you.
we see your little guy on the boards when you're over there in the warm up and stuff like that. That's pretty cool stuff. You got to really be enjoying that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, just him having fun at the games is awesome to see. And, it always, makes me feel good when he's on the glass in warm-ups and gives me a little extra push.
And nice, thanks for being a head scout. How much work did it take to get Patrick here?
I was texting him quite a bit before that, but, I think he wanted to come here. I think he sees the things in our group that all of us know, and I think he watched plenty of our games before he signed, and he was definitely excited to be a part of this group as well.
And you can watch it on Bally Sports Detroit. There's a show now on Wingspan called One on One, and I know Mickey sat down with you, Mo, and I had the opportunity to sit with Dylan, and I was intrigued, and I loved your comment about that crazy travel day in Toronto, and the end of that game, and you can tell the story how you just knew it was family on this team by the reaction.
Yeah, that was a special. It was a hard day, but a special day. We got stuck with weather, couldn't fly out after our home game the night before, and we had a pretty crazy travel day. But we ended up making it to Toronto, I think, an hour and a half before the game, and we couldn't do our normal routines, but we got it out a win, and that bench reaction where all the guys were in it together. Nothing went our way for the whole 24 hours before that, but we won the game, and the celebration on the bench, everyone's hugging. It gives me chills thinking about it, because it was so much fun to be a part of it and be in the locker room after the game, and that's when I really felt that the closeness and the togetherness of our team was really special. And there's been some more great moments after that. The most recent in Chicago with Kaner's return, and I don't think there's anyone in this room that when he picked up that puck didn't think he was scoring. We all. It was just storybook, so that was also a special night. There's been a lot of those this year, which is really cool, and you guys have been getting a lot of good press for your calls, and that's well deserved. So those are iconic moments in Detroit sports history now.
Just so you guys know, that's not the first time that's happened, getting to a game an hour and a half. When I was playing with Montreal, we'd play home on Saturday night, get on a train at 11:59, get off the train in Chicago at about 5:30, get a police escort to the Chicago Stadium, get dressed, warm up, and drop the puck. And by 10 o'clock, we're in an Italian restaurant having a cold beer. Life was good. And we used to win, too, so good for you guys.
How much fun is it for you in your Eurozone, and you look up and you see the skill you got? I know a guy like David Perron, you can put the pass anywhere and he's going to pick up the damn thing. But when you look up the ice this year and you have Alex there and you have Patrick Kane and Comfer, how much more confident are you back there with the forward group?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's easy. They're always open. You just got to find a stick somewhere. It's just a lot of fun playing with them, especially, I think, talking my age group now, seeing Lucas, I think exceeding expectation from everyone makes me really happy, because he's someone you know really well, and obviously he will be a big part of this organization.
Lucas is becoming a star, isn't he?
For sure, in my opinion. Maybe we get a little argument with the coach after, because I do believe we got some pretty damn good superstars on our team. But overall, for sure, I mean, it's a team game, and I think we've been putting out a lot of good team wins, and that's a big key to success for sure.
Alex, talk about, people talked a lot about you and number 88 and how you find each other and how you're looking for each other. You guys were dynamite in Chicago a few years ago. When What's the secret to all that stuff? I mean, it's amazing you're finding each other across 85 feet of ice with backhand passes and stuff like that getting open.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Give him the puck, and I'll go find some space wherever on the ice. So he's so smart with the puck, and obviously playing with Larks too. They just seem to find you, and I just try to stand back door and put them in as much as I can.
Do you do you prefer to be a right-hand shot on the left side? Do you enjoy that, where you get a little more room? Being a righty coming off that left side, you got that far side of the net's a little more to look at.
Yeah, ever since junior, I have always played the left side, so I'm pretty comfortable over there. Had to learn how to pick up a pass in my backhand, but try to do my best over there now. So I think coming in the zone, you have a lot of options, and obviously the one-timer from Kaner is there most of the time.
How about the burr that's been under your saddle a little bit? You've had a couple of fights. You went after some people. That's really not your style.
No, not too much, but sometimes it needs to be done. So I'm not too scared to do that, but definitely not part of my game.
Well, no offense to the father who said we can't be hostile. There has to be some hostility once in a while in this game.
Just stay away.
You know that.
Just stay away from Matt Rempe of the Rangers, okay? The guy's 6'8" and just trying to make his way in the league, but keep away from that one. Dylan, Michael Rasmussen just signed an extension, and I think a lot of his play goes unheralded, what he does. Can you talk about Ras?
Yeah, someone that we saw last year when he blocked that shot against Tampa and had a pretty bad injury where we lost him for the rest of the season. We played Ottawa the next 2 games, and just someone that you want in your lineup, protects his teammates. He plays heavy game down low and can drive his line with forechecking and being responsible defensively. So he does a lot of things. Mostly everything that he does is for the team, and he does it the right way. And someone that we love him in the room, and someone that you can be really happy for when he gets the recognition he deserves.
Guys, thank you for the entertainment and the fun we're having this year. Not only Ken and I in the gondola, but all Red Wing fans around the world. Enjoying the heck out of the way you're doing it, and thanks for taking time today.
Thank you, guys. Stay right where you are, though. Right now, I'd like to introduce Terry Radigan, the DEC board member and chair of the Detroit Sports Commission, which is bringing the NFL draft here to Detroit in 2 months' time, the end of April, and I think Red Wing fans are feeding off the Lion fandom, too, and it's carried into this season with some more questions. Terry?
Well, thanks for the terrific conversation, guys. I do have some questions, and the first one goes to Coach Lalonde. The Wings lead the NHL in third-period comeback wins with 11 this season. What do you attribute that to?
Stick-to-itiveness from the group. And what I mean by that is we've really matured and have a patience in our game. Potentially a year ago, we can get in that situation. We might chase offense. We might get a little bit out of structure. And it's exactly what you do is you give up easy offense. Now we're trailing 2 goals, 3 goals. The game gets out of hand. So there's a confidence in the group. We feel like we can get that goal from anywhere in the lineup. We talk about it all the time after 2 periods. We don't need to chase it. You stay within structure, we'll get ours. And that certainly has happened this year, and I think there's a believability about it now, and there's a confidence in those situations. With that said, not a recipe for success. You do not want to be trailing in this league going into the third period, but credit to this group, they found a way to do it all year.
Thank you, Coach. Next question goes to Steve Yzerman. Let's talk rivalries. In the 80s, it was Chicago. In the 90s, it was Colorado. Is there a team today that you would put in that category, and why?
The league has changed a little bit now. One with 32 teams, different playoff formats. So you aren't seeing back in the 80s. We played the same teams. We played Toronto 4 times twice in the preseason, 8 times in the regular season. Some years 7 in the playoffs. So that very rarely happens. The rivalry with Colorado was very quiet. We played twice in the regular season and would only match up again if we both got to the finals. We are starting, for whatever reason, we are starting to develop, and it started when actually Dylan's first year probably. I was in Tampa, he was in Detroit, but Detroit and Tampa, it always seems to be a fiery contest. some hostility. And then with the Ottawa Senators as well, another divisional team that there seems to be some rivalries being built up. But ultimately, we got to get in the playoffs and be there year in, year out and battle it out in our division, not only for in the regular season standings, but in the playoffs. So,
Thank you, Steve. Moritz Seider, we talked earlier about playing in Sweden this season. Is there a dream international destination you would like to play in, and why?
I mean, nothing better than Germany, right? No, I think it probably comes down to Sweden or Switzerland. Switzerland, obviously, a big advantage is the travel. You're in and out really fast. And dream destination, I don't know. I say Mannheim, Germany.
Good answer. Dylan, the last few home games, it seems like the crowd is giving you a huge advantage. How does the zeal of the Red Wings crowd affect you and the team?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been really lifting, and you know, we've had some good performances at home, and there's been a lot to cheer about. So, you know, it started I think last night with Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know what he screamed on the while he was doing the horn, but he screamed something, and the people cheered pretty loud. So, you know, it's just been great. So the new goal horn's pretty good too.
All right, let's have some fun. Alex, which teammate is most likely to be like Travis Kelce and date a pop star or a movie star like Taylor Swift, and why?
That's a good question. I'll have to be careful about my answer. I think let's go Christian Fisher. I think he's got the personality to, you know, corral a girl like that, and you know, he's just one of the guys that when we talk about such a special group, he's one of those guys. So, you know, he keeps us all together and is a lot of fun.
Dylan, which teammate is more competitive off the ice in things like soccer, ping pong, cards, and can you give us an example?
I would probably say, who would you say? Me? No, never. But you know, Lucas is a really good soccer player, and you know, I try and keep him honest about his effort because sometimes it's lacking. He's not here to defend himself, but Lucas is pretty competitive, and he's pretty good athlete, pretty talented and everything. So usually we the Americans versus the Europeans, and it doesn't really work out for the Europeans too well in soccer.
Alex, coming back to you, which teammate is most likely to have been voted class clown in high school, and why do you think that?
I think I have to go Fish again. Yeah, I think that's just his personality. You could, you know, I don't think he ever stops joking. I think he's, you know, keeps the mood light and is definitely a clown most of the time.
Mo, which teammate do you think is most likely to take home a trophy in a video game competition, and what video game would they be best at?
I don't care as long as they're not American. I don't care. I don't know. I think honestly, Joe and Klimmer, they're pretty good at playing FIFA soccer. So I think that's what they would do. But circling back to the soccer game real quick is no. I think we're pretty dialed. The Europeans are having definitely a little bit more touch in their feet and a little bit more urgency where the ball is going. So I'm not happy with that. Yeah.
Definitely more sensitive.
But definitely got more wins in the soccer game, for sure.
I'm really looking forward to the Olympics. I can't wait till that happens. That's going to be a great year.
Steve, there have been 77 hat tricks so far this season, which is the most in 30 years in the NHL. Why do you think that number is so high?
I think there's a combination of reasons. Number one is the players shoot the puck so incredibly hard now. Their technique is better. The sticks that they use are different. You don't see a lot of slap shots like Mickey going down the wing, a slap shot down the wing anymore. They use softer flex in their shafts, and they can really sling it, and it's just harder for the goaltenders to save it. So combination of the ability to shoot the puck. I think the bigger end zone, it's harder to play D now, collectively as a team. More time, I think, on the power play. But again, the biggest difference, I think, is the player's ability to shoot the puck. You just see them ripping it with wrist shots from the top of the circles and out. And, you know, again, we couldn't do that in our day. And just the skill level of the player and the technique is so much better.
Thanks, Steve. Final question is for Coach Lalonde. How do you feel about scrapping shootouts in overtime and playing until the first team scores in a 3-on-3?
That's the playoffs. No 3-on-3. I'm fine with the current format. I think it's fine for the fans. I know people are getting a little, be careful about the word, tired of the 3-on-3. Like coaches, we've ruined everything. We've kind of figured out a strategy of possession the puck and how to defend against it. But I think it's a proper format right now. I like the 3-on-3. I like the shootout, especially with some of the players we have now, currently. I like it a lot. I did not like it last year as much. But I think it's a good format. I think the bigger picture of the season and how draining it is, these overtimes, which you see in playoffs, I don't think it'd be sustainable in the regular season. So maybe I'm different, but I'm very complacent with the current model.
Great answers all, and with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Ken and Mickey.
Thank you, guys. It was wonderful. I know Steve's coming back up here with the raffle in just a moment. But again, we want to thank the Economic Club for having us each year. It's always a wonderful event, and players have the New York Islanders in town tomorrow night. Should be an 8th consecutive sellout at Little Caesars Arena. The fans have been great, so on behalf of all of you, and we want to thank Steve Yzerman and Derek Lalonde, Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, and Moritz Seider for being here this afternoon. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, Steve?
Thank you. All right, folks, Ken and Mickey, thank you so much for your outstanding work. Steve and Coach, can't thank you enough for allowing your team to do this and for you being here. Final round of applause for these guys. Don't forget to get your tickets. April 30th, we'll be right back here with the Detroit Tigers team. Thanks for being with us on time, every time. This meeting of the Detroit Economic Club is now adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Go Wings!